Hello, everybody. Vanessa Raymond here, your confidence and success coach. Welcome to the Victory in Biz call, our Monday accountability call. Tammy, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. So we have some new faces here today. I'm so happy. So good to see everybody. I'm going to start today by saying what a wonderful conference we had this weekend. Yeah, thumbs up, everybody. Awesome. And I think, and Kim, you were in university, so big stuff. Tammy, we're sad you couldn't make it, but I'm glad you're here. So happy to see you. And so today, what I want to do is I just want to start by going around and each one of you tell me, what is your number one goal for this coming week? If you know. Okay. So Dawn, why don't we start with you?
Probably my biggest goal, I would think, because I've got 2 or 3 things I want to achieve this week, but I think the biggest one would be to find out more about marketing strategies and things for my course and for, well, all my courses moving forward. So I think I'm making some progress and have hopefully found the person that can help at least move me up to the next level. So absolutely. I'm excited to do that this week.
Oh, well, you said you were talking to Scott after here.
I was, yes.
So I'm sure he will be just the person for that.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize he did that sort of thing. But yeah, when he asked me what my challenges were and I told him, and he's like, well, let's chat. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's a mover shaker and he's really good at that stuff. So he will most definitely be able to help you with that. However, what have you done that you feel is working or not working?
I have had to take a break this last week or so because I had so much to do and so much marketing stuff to, create my banner and all the things for the table and whatnot for the conference. So I've been away from my day job, if you like, for maybe a week and a half, but I'm starting to pick it up now. But I think I needed it, in all honesty. I think I was pushing myself too hard and that doesn't work with me. If I push myself too hard, then doesn't work. It's just got to take its time. And
Nope. It's like Leela always says. She says you got to slow down to speed up. Right?
Well, that's right. It's resistance, isn't it? If you try too hard, you're pushing against the natural flow of things. And I've learned the hard way.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah. Same here. Welcome, Kelly. Hello, Jenny Lynn. Welcome. We're just going around and everyone's telling me what is their number one goal for this week. Suzanne, do you want to go next?
Oh, sure. Well, I am working on a brochure that I'm finishing up this week, and it's a particular niche with wedding planners. I think I told you about that, and people that are in the bridal wedding field that really would be good referrals. So we're developing a brochure that's more generic and one that's more for brides. So I'm anxious to get that. Probably midweek I'll have that.
Okay, fantastic. Did you have a chance to connect with Audrey?
Yes. Yeah, she's and I talked to her coach, at the event, and he said that he would be glad to put in a little good, reference for us too.
Great, fantastic. Okay, so getting that brochure done, also marketing, right?
Yeah, marketing, and then I have one to put together for the challenge that I'm doing, a Facebook challenge. So I need not a brochure, but just a blurb about that and get that together.
Fantastic. Thank you, Suzanne, for sharing. Kim, do you want to share with us what your number one goal is this week?
My number one goal is clarity. And Rob, because I've got many things that have gone on. I've run businesses for over 3 decades, and it's like how to bring it together for me, who I am today, and what would bring me great joy and success for doing now. So Rob sent me a document yesterday, had troubles opening it, and he resent it earlier today. So I had the honor of winning the grand prize at the
conference.
so I've been touching base with all of the gift givers to follow up on those. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of books in there.
Yes.
So it's like what's neat though, my response has been, oh wow, rather than oh shit.
Good.
And picked a book to start with, and then I've got trade shows setting up on Friday, and they go through the end of the month. So my goal is to carve out time starting today and answer whatever I'm going to find in Rob's document.
Okay, clarity. You will
Yeah.
find clarity. And all of us here on this call are here to support you, and you're welcome to reach out to me if any of that's confusing for you.
Okay, will do. And I will add one thing. There was a speaker on Saturday morning to a husband and wife team,
Yes.
Holly and Eric, I think it was.
Yes.
And what they suggested, I think I probably heard it before, but it hadn't stayed with me, was to pick a word for the day.
Right.
And so my word is clarity. And with everything that I go then to be and do, it's clarity. And it's phenomenal.
Good. Fantastic. Good word. Good word. Yeah. Hello, Liz. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Tammy, darling. I know you are new to the group, honey. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Do you want to tell us if you have a number one goal this week, and if so, what it is?
Yes. So my number one goal is to get my morning routine, which I realized my night routine is affecting my morning routine. So I need to get my night routine and morning routine so I can, anyway, I just feel like that will fix a lot of issues I'm having. Kim, I'd like to talk to you about trade shows. I want to get into that. So love some tips or some connections.
That's what we love, some connections here. Absolutely. Tammy, yes. And for everybody, that's why I love these calls, because it's so important to have those routines, especially the early morning and evening routines, to keep our minds clear. We all have so much to do every day. So if we can start the day good and end the day well, then all's well, right? And I find that one of the most helpful things for me in my evening routine, Tammy, if you're not doing this yet, is to really go back and look at what have I achieved in the day? Not get down on myself, but really, really praise myself for what I actually got done during that day. All right. And then plan the next day. All right. Hello, Anne. Good to see you, honey. Do you want to share with us what's your number one goal for this coming week?
Hi there, everyone. Lovely to see you. My goal for the coming week is to finalize my plan for June's conference with my table and, everything that's going to happen there, so that I've got a good start with, all the steps that I want to take to be fully prepared.
Yay, we're already getting pumped up. We finished the other conference on Saturday. Today we're pumped up for June, the next one, getting ready to go. Awesome goal. And there's now a application form for the vendor table.
I did it.
Okay, awesome. Fabulous. Let's see, Kelly. Would you like to share with us? You are, there she is.
I was muted. My number one goal this week is to get more tickets sold for our gala that's coming up on the 18th, and potentially get more vendors for the event. Will
you quickly give everyone here a quick description of your gala and what type of vendors you're looking for in case they're interested?
Yes, it is. It's our annual gala. It is Hawaiian theme this year. So it's Destination Mental Escape, Hawaiian style. It's Friday, February 18th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Deep Space in Parker. Vendors that align with us would be I mean, we're all in the health and wellness, but if you have any like more connections to mental health, so how does your product, service, what you do relate to mental health in general? The people that come to our gala are mainly well, friends, family, business type people, or people that are really looking to give back to community and charity.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so keep
Very
that in
good. I
mind.
got a question.
Yes.
Do you like a silent auction or anything like that?
We do, yes. So we're doing a silent auction. So if you have items that you would like to donate to that, I am open to donations.
Okay, great. Okay.
Thanks for that question, Anne. Awesome. Jenny Lynn, hello, honey. Good to have you here.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Oh, I have so many fun things on my list this week. They're all equally important. I would say probably top of the list right now is I just had my coaching meeting with Gary this morning, and I'm raising my session prices. So I have some updates to do on my website and communication.
Congratulations.
Client base. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome to hear when we are doing that thing, that raising our prices to own our worth, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be a priority, I would say. Get all your materials updated to match what's going on.
Yes.
Les, for those of you, does everybody here know Les? Les has been with us for a long time, but he's just resurfacing for a bit. Will you unmute yourself and let us know what is your number one goal for this coming week? Business-wise, obviously.
So did I unmute myself successfully?
We hear you.
All right. Well, hi everybody. Sorry I haven't been around for a while. Lot of changes in my life this last year. Kind of feeling a little at a loss for a while, but really my goal of the week this week is to make sure I participated in this call, get plugged in with getting my business kind of brushed off and set some priorities as far as like I need to get a marketing brochure done that's 90% done already. I just need to make sure I get that finished.
Fantastic marketing brochure. Good job. So you guys, those of you that are new on the call today, I really like everyone to just on Monday get clarity of what is that number one thing you want to get done during the week. And then we will check in on that the following week. And if you are having any difficulty with getting any tasks completed, we mastermind around that. With that said, is there anything at the moment that any of you are struggling with or need an answer to help you move forward? Any questions today? Are we good? We're good. Fantastic. So to move on, I have sometimes I come in here with a few learning points. And today I really wanted to go over, and I know, Anne, you and I discussed this recently, so this will be kind of a recap for you. But I really want to talk about, seeing as we had university last week and we had this conference during the weekend, during these events, a lot of us have some breakthroughs and we discover things and we feel motivated and we feel ready to go. But then we always find that after a few days or a couple of weeks, all that motivation and inspiration kind of fades into the background as we get back into the humdrum and the spinning that wheel and, the hamster wheel and all that. So how do we actually sustain those breakthroughs? How do we hang on to that feeling of feeling motivated, of keeping moving forward? So I want to go through a few things here. And, I love listening to Tony Robbins. So those of you who are Tony Robbins fans or followers might recognize some of these things. Hi, David. Welcome. Good to see you. Glad you could join us. Hey, seeing as you quickly joined, I'm just going into a little bit of how to sustain a breakthrough, but I had everybody tell me what their number one goal is for the coming week. Would you want to quickly share with us what that is for you?
My number one goal for this week is to meet with Robert. this
Me.
week since he's coming down, and we are going over some ideas with regards to the editing and authoring or editing the books that all the authors are pushing through Achieve.
Oh, great. Great. Are you authoring?
I am not yet authoring, but I am a longtime editor for proposals,
neat.
books, educational materials. So that's
Just learned
my,
something new about you.
yeah, that's what I used to do prior to doing massage. Is I was a desktop publisher, editor. So
Fantastic. Well, that's good to know, you guys. Now we all know new resource, David.
yep. So
Yes, Laura, do you have a
So
question?
my number one goal, because you never asked me,
Oh, Laura.
it's okay.
Sorry, honey.
I understand I'm not in Colorado anymore, so it doesn't count the same. I got that.
Hey, that's not true.
Just kidding. So I've accomplished one of my biggest goals, and that was creating the event for March that's going to be live in Colorado Springs. Nikki's going to carry that one on for me. But my next big goal for this week then is to set up either expand the meetup group I have now or start a new group and kind of connect a new group for Missouri and Colorado to be running
Wow.
together and to carry my self-care chapter and start building it out here.
Fantastic. Sorry I
Yeah.
skipped you, honey. You know I love you dearly.
I know, it's okay.
I just sometimes
I'm
lose
good.
my head.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you. Did I skip anybody else? No, good. All right. So 5 keys to sustain breakthroughs. Number 1, first, we have to always get clear on what is it that we want and where are we currently? So what's that gap, right? How big is that gap from where we are now to what we really want? And I think a lot of us on this call have already done that work. So the other step to that would be to revisit that. And that can change also as we go along. So it's a really good idea to always reassess, maybe weekly, monthly, I don't know, what works for you. What are those goals, those things that you really, really want? And where are you now? And how far is that gap? Okay, so we're just assessing. Number 2, very, very important. In order to sustain any kind of breakthrough, we have to destroy any limiting beliefs that we have that's going to always come back at us and discourage us from continuing to grow within whatever breakthrough we had, right? Whether it is figuring out what your services are, or figuring out how to lose weight, or figuring out whatever breakthrough it was, clarity, right? Clarity on something, or raising your prices. And then suddenly we start with the limiting beliefs. Oh, are people going to pay me that? Am I really worth that, right? So really, really going, but we can't just crush and destroy our limiting beliefs. We have to replace them with something, because otherwise they're part of our paradigm, right? So we need to change that paradigm, and we need to replace the old negative habits with new. So figure out what are those new positive things that you can change and replace those old limiting beliefs that wherever you found those limiting beliefs, because we all have those, right? And something that I love that Tony Robbins said, and he got this from Jim Rohn, his mentor. And he said Jim Rohn had this philosophy of stretching, right? And he said, whenever you say, I can't, that is when you must. All right. So whenever you hear yourself saying to yourself, I can't, or I won't, or I don't want to, that is when you actually have to take action and you have to do that thing. All right. That is part of crushing those limiting beliefs, is to just go for it. All right. So when you say can't, that's when you must. I love that. I'm now implementing that in my life. No more can't, I must. Don't jump off a building or do something stupid like that, okay? I'm kidding, you guys. You know that. All right, so that was number 2. So number 1 is assessing where you are and where you want to go. Number 2 is crushing and destroying. And thank you, Anne. Yes, there is only do, not try, right? As Gary Barnes always reminds us so kindly. Number 3, watch your language. What is the words? What are the words that you speak to yourself and to others about yourself, your goals, your business? What is coming out of your mouth? What is your subconscious telling you? Become hyper aware of what the words are you are using. Like Anne and I were discussing the other day, sometimes we can be super dramatic about things, right? We might pick a word that's hyper dramatic about a situation where we could pick a word that's less dramatic or less melodramatic, I can almost say. Sometimes we can affect ourselves to believe things in a bigger way than we needed to by using words that are overly dramatic. Anybody think of an example here? I don't remember the example I used last week.
One of them is
Vanessa, I've got some.
Sorry, David, go first.
I was going to say, it's the generalization
Right.
words like always, never, every single time, things like that. It's those generalizations that we find ourselves saying. I know that I've found myself saying that it's not always that way. It's not never that way. It's, sometimes, so that those blanket covering words that aren't true.
Right. I love that. So instead of saying, oh, I'm always stressed out when I have to do this thing, you can say, oh, sometimes this really, really makes me feel anxiety, or it makes me feel a little more stressed out, instead of saying, oh, I'm always right. Or, Anne, what were you saying?
Well, one of them is saying to somebody, you always make me feel this way. Responsibility is gone. But the other thing is also when you say it's so hard. When I ask people say it's so hard out there, I said, well, ask the guys who make the vaxxers and the masks how hard it is, and the people that are full of restaurants that when they are go drive around your neighborhood, you know what I mean? So it's just a matter of perspective, and once you get that, you can change anything that you think about yourself, which I should know because I've been in a really, really big place about that.
I know, sweetie. Awesome. Kim, you have something to add?
Sure. So yes, ditto to all that's been said. And things like ought to, need to, should, shoulding on yourself and all that other wordplay stuff, that to choose, to really feel into the place and to have words come from a whole body knowing rather than a head trip. And to notice where our energy is, whether it's in our head. And for me, we're cells of a larger body, right? We call it an earth body or a universal body, et cetera. And we all have hearts. So I take it a little further, and that why not then all of the cells and spaces in between of our body also have a heart resonance.
Exactly.
And that invites the whole field to participate with us.
I love that perspective, Kim. Thank you for sharing.
Hey, I want to add a little onto what Kim said.
Yes.
That's so true, that, and I think I might have heard her correctly, that, we should always give ourselves the choice and recognize that we have the power of choice in all that we do. So we have to, we don't, that in my mind, I try not to get away from the shoulds and the, would to have had tos, but just say, you know what, I have a choice here. I'm choosing that, as opposed to just saying, I have to, I'm forced to, I need to, I'm choosing to.
I'm choosing to. I love that. Thank you, you guys. Yes, because our vocabulary is really linked to our experiences, but it can also create our experiences or take away from our experiences. So really, really just become very aware of the words that you choose to use every day on a daily basis, and maybe even start listening to yourself and start writing down the words that you are noticing that might not serve you that well, so that you can start eliminating them from your vocabulary, right? Because you'll know I teach posture and body language because of that same reason. Just how your posture and your body language can change the chemistry in your brain to make you feel better or worse, so can your vocabulary. The words that you use do the same thing. All right, step 4, take massive action. The thing is, sometimes we get posed with choices. Well, we have choices all day, every day, right? We get posed with choices all day, every day. And sometimes we get paralyzed and we freeze. And that's when we procrastinate, or we don't get something done because we don't feel like we can make a decision. Why? Because we're scared we're going to make the wrong decision, right? But hey, wouldn't you rather make the wrong decision and move forward so that you can see what's not working and then change course than sit stuck, right? It's better to make a quote unquote wrong decision, but keep moving forward than it is to sit stuck and frozen and not do anything. Take action, because we can course correct, right? We can always course correct. So massive action is the cure-all. It can change your state. And Tony Robbins said something really interesting that I really loved. He said, I made a decision to never leave the site of making a decision without taking an action. In other words, let's say there's something that needs to happen, but you can't do it in that moment. Do something in that moment that's going to force you to take action on that thing later. Because how many times do we decide we're going to take action on something, and then that moment goes by and then it disappears into the background and we never ever take action on that thing. So schedule the call now, make the commitment now, and then make sure that action gets taken. All right. And then last but not least, in order to sustain our breakthroughs, it's also just part of that positive mentality, that feel good thing that we all need every day. Always give much more than you ever could imagine receiving. It's the giving thing. It's that thing that reminds us that there's more out there to life than whatever issues or problems we are dealing with. When you give, when you go to the food bank and you pack meals, or you go feed the hungry, or I don't know, I'm just trying to think of some examples here. Over deliver to your clients, to your customers. Give people more than you could ever imagine receiving. So just to recap, the 5 things. Get clarity on what you want and where are you now. Find the status quo, see what's the gap and what you need to do to get from A to B. 2, destroy any limiting beliefs and replace them with something positive, something that serves you. Number 3, watch your language. Our language really dictates how we feel, can affect our self-image, self-confidence, and everything around it. Take massive action and give. All right. Any questions, any additions, any comments before we say goodbye today? Fantastic. I'm so happy to have, yes, Les, who wanted to say something?
Well, I was just going to say I love the content that you put out today. So thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. I try to really bring something here that can help us in our businesses and lives move forward on a daily basis. And thank you all for sharing your number 1 goal. Now go out and get that done. All right. So next week you can all say to me, you've ticked that off the box and it's all done. Love you guys. Have a beautiful Monday. Have a fantastic, very successful week.
Ditto.
Bye.
Thank you.